everyone. This is Dr. AC Quaidu. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Smile Code. Today, I want to touch on the concepts of faith and surrender. And faith and surrender are intertwined concepts, often discussed in spiritual and philosophical contexts. Faith typically refers to a strong belief or trust in something, whether it's a religious belief in a higher power, trust in oneself, or confidence in the universe's inherent order. It's often described as a conviction that transcends mere intellectual understanding, rooted in intuition or deep-seated conviction. Surrender, on the other hand, involves letting go of resistance or control. It's about relinquishing the need to constantly manage or manipulate outcomes, and instead allowing things to unfold naturally. Now, surrender doesn't mean giving up or being passive, but rather it's a form of acceptance and trust in the process of life. Now, when these two concepts come together, it often implies a profound acceptance of circumstances beyond one's control, coupled with a steadfast trust that everything will work out as it should. This can be a powerful mindset, offering peace and resilience in the face of uncertainty or adversity. A number of years ago, when I visited my parents in Ghana, I was riding home one day with my mom, and as we passed the local market, she pointed out an elderly woman in her early 70s on the street walking with a young girl of about 7 years old who looked like she could be her grandchild. Mom said her name was Mame, and boy, did she have a story to tell. Mame was a trader in the market, and she had a daughter, an only child who was married and lived with her husband in the village. Her daughter got pregnant shortly after marriage and was carrying what would be Mamiama's first grandchild, and she was so excited about this next phase of her life. One day, she got a visitor from the village who informed her that her daughter had been rushed to the local midwife in the village with complications, and she needed to come right away to be with her. So Mamiama rushed to the village, but alas, she was too late. The baby had come earlier than expected, but her daughter, unfortunately, had died during complications shortly after the birth of her child. I'll talk about devastation. Mamiama was beyond devastated, beyond heartbroken. All the excitement and anticipation that had built up during the preceding months were stripped, and in that moment, it felt like her life was being sucked right out of her. She was grief-stricken, desolate, inconsolable. The baby, her granddaughter, less than a day old, was placed in her care because she was really the only next of kin. Her son-in-law, unbeknownst to her, had abandoned her daughter in the preceding weeks. She wept, and she wept. Her grief was so intense, the kind of grief only the mother of an only child can fully understand. With a very heavy heart, Mamiama took her grandbaby home, wondering how in the world she was going to care for this precious little girl, the closest thing to the memory of her daughter, who she had loved with her whole heart, her whole mind, and with her entire soul and being. Mamiama held her grandbaby close and she prayed. And then she wept, and then she wept some more. Soon she fell asleep from extreme exhaustion, fatigue, and grief with the baby on her bosom. Now this is where things got weird. She awoke a few hours later to a suckling sound, and she could not believe what she discovered next. Her 65-year-old lifeless menopausal breasts had somehow enlarged while she slept, had become gorged with breast milk, and there was a copious stream of milk dripping from them. There was so much milk, her clothes were drenched, and the baby was sucking for dear life. She stared in disbelief at the incredible spectacle before her eyes, pinched herself to make sure she wasn't dreaming, and screamed for the neighbors to come and witness this miracle. Well, the milk continued to flow, not just that day, but for days and weeks and months, until her grandbaby was old enough to be weaned off of it. When I heard that story, I was truly amazed. And that day in Ghana, when I saw Mame and her granddaughter in the market and heard this truly amazing and incredible story, I was reminded of the resilience of the human spirit, the transformative power of love in the face of adversity. It's a beautiful testament to the bonds of family, the miracle of life, and the capacity for hope and renewal even in the darkest of times. Mamiama's incredibly moving story speaks to the depth of love and resilience that exists within the human spirit. Despite facing unimaginable loss and grief, she found the strength to care for her granddaughter with all the love and devotion she had for her own daughter. And the miraculous transformation of Mamiama's body producing milk to nourish her granddaughter is a testament to the profound connection between love and life. It's a testament to the power of maternal instinct and the incredible capacity of the human body to respond to the needs of those we care for deeply. Mamiama's experience also highlights the role of faith and surrender in facing life's challenges. In the midst of her despair, Mamiama turned to prayer, seeking solace and guidance. And in surrendering to the reality of her circumstances, she found unexpected strength and resources within herself to meet the needs of her granddaughter. Now, how does faith and surrender help us on our own journey of self-discovery and our pursuit of authentic happiness? Well, letting go of control and embracing uncertainty through faith and surrender can help guide our journey of self-discovery and pursuit of well-being. These principles acknowledge that life entails unknown forces and an unfolding natural process beyond our direct control and understanding. With faith, we can courageously confront uncertainties about ourselves instead of constantly striving for answers or outcomes. Faith encourages viewing each experience, however ambiguous, as potentially meaningful. It involves connecting to something greater, like spiritual beliefs or humanity's inherent goodness, cultivating purpose and meaning. Surrender means appreciating each moment without anxiety over what's to come. Together, faith and surrender build resilience through challenges, nurturing presence, gratitude, and inner peace grounded in alignment with our true selves rather than external factors. While self-exploration still involves difficulties, these principles provide powerful tools to navigate gracefully and find astonishing outcomes through embracing life's beauty in each discovery about who we are. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Smile Code. Until next time, remember to keep smiling, keep the faith, surrender to the beauty of your authentic dreams, and let your journey of self-discovery be one of constant amazement and wonder. This is Dr. Isikwedu signing off. See you soon.